Everyone who experiences a life-threatening event is likely to be traumatized, and in today's video, it is part 3 of our video whereby we are talking about PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. So if you have not watched the other videos, please, I request you to watch and also subscribe to our channel. My name is Enock Francis, a psychiatric clinical officer working here in Uganda. Today we are going to look at avoidance. We are saying that PTSD is a mental disorder whereby someone is exposed to what we call trauma, a life-threatening event. Okay, it can be a serious injury or sexual violence. So we looked at the other category whereby we looked at what we call intrusion symptoms. So today we are looking at avoidance. Now, if someone has gone through a bad experience, is that they try as much as possible to avoid things which are related to the traumatic event. For example, if someone is a rape victim, will not want to remember anything which is related to rape. Even when a cloth which is related to that doesn't want to look at it. Why? Because it will be reminding him or her about the things which happen. Okay? So, in this category, we are saying that they will make efforts to avoid reminders of the traumatic event. Okay? So, one of them is that they will avoid what we call conversations. They don't want to talk about anything related to the traumatic event. If it is related to rape, someone do not want to talk about that rape. Okay? If it's about killing their wife or relative or mother or parent, someone will not love to talk about that event. Why? Because it will trigger those memories. Okay? Then another thing is they avoid people, they avoid places which are related to the traumatic event. Okay? In the Nakivale Refugee settlement, I had a woman. Okay, once she was coming to the clinic in Nakivale Health Center free, so she met a soldier, and the soldier was putting on the uniform. So instead of using that pass, she has to find a different way of reaching the facility. So she didn't want to look at that soldier. Why? Because the uniform, even the soldier, the uniform reminds her of what happened to her while in Congo or during the war. So people can try to avoid such kind of things. So they can avoid places, they can avoid the reminders if people you find they don't want to look at the police in uniform, they don't want to look at a gun. Why? Because it triggers the memories of the what? Of the trauma. So people avoid thinking about the event. They don't want you to talk about that trauma. So these are symptoms which belong what we call the category of avoidance. Avoidance is always automatic. It is, your brain cannot control it. It just comes automatically, and this falls under what we call the unconscious brain. Like you may not want to think about it to avoid it, but it comes automatically without the brain having control over it. So this is some of the symptoms which belong under what we call avoidance. So if you are still new to our channel, we request you to subscribe because this motivates me to create more content for you. So we are looking out for partners, people who can partner with us. You may be an individual, an organization, okay, or a person who is interested in supporting mental health. So we are requesting that you come on board because research in Uganda has told us that about 32% of Ugandans have mental illness, but majority of these people don't know that they have mental illness. And also the other side, the research also told us that about 70% of mental patients have to go to religious leaders before seeking for a mental health profession. It's like looking for a mental health profession is like the last resort. So we want to reduce that knowledge gap and also stigma in our community. So we want to continue having such kind of discussions in our communities, in our villages, having community outreaches, which are really specifically tied to mental health. So our contacts are just on the screen. You can get in touch with us. So under avoidance, like the word says, someone tries to avoid anything related to the traumatic event. Reminders, even talking about it, they don't want to talk about it. Okay? So if you have such kind of symptoms, maybe you saw your relatives being killed, or you saw people your people being killed in your presence, or you survived death, If you see some of these symptoms, they may indicate that you are going through what we call, you are suffering from what we call PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. So in our next video, we are going to talk about mood and cognition. It will be our fourth video on PTSD because I want you to understand what is PTSD, and in the later time we are going to look at how we can manage PTSD. Thank you so much.